So what we're doing is triangles. We're going from one point to another. We established the back of the house. Now we're going from one point and another point and getting the intersection to figure, we know the dimension of that triangle or that diagonal. So we're getting our points to meet. And those 2 points are 32, 9 1/4. And what's the other one, Meg? 68, 9.9. All right. 68, 9.9. Here and 32, 9 1/4. Those are the 2 points. So when I grab them tight, lean back on them, that should roughly be where we're gonna be. But this is the first step, just generally knowing where the corners of the house are going to be, and then we'll know where that is and then go off about 5 or 6 feet beyond that with our excavation. So I'm just putting a few sticks in the ground, spray painting them red, and we can kind of sit back and take a look at things. Geez, I think we're not going to be up here tomorrow working either.
No, we need to let it dry out. This is way too wet.
Ooh, a flat spot. Meg, it's hard over here. Apparently, someone else has been around too.
There's a lot of deer tracks.
Yeah, I like seeing a deer track and it slips. Like, I wish I could have seen it. Like its feet come out from underneath.
Alright, Autumn, hold on really tight. Daddy's gonna pull it. You gotta keep it right where it is at that stick, okay?
I just wanted to demonstrate kind of what we just did. So this is the back of the house, this back line, and we made points. So we got a back left corner. We have the corner that we didn't really account for yet, another corner, because there's an inset here. This is the back door. But anyway, this corner and this corner is what we started off with and just went straight across. These two walls are just a straight line. Then to get this measurement, we knew the diagonal from 0.1 to 0.8. We knew that dimension. So we took that string line and matched it with the dimension of this wall string line, and where they intersect, that's going to be square. So we're going for a 90-degree angle here from the back wall to over here, and then vice versa on the other side. So we wanted to establish this point here. We already knew 0.1 and 0.4. We knew the measurement for 0.4 over to 0.5 and the measurement from 1 to 5. So we just met those two tapes at the correct location, and that's square too.
And we accounted for this section of the, wait, stop. This section of the house is shorter than this section. So what we did is we added
4 foot 6.
4.5 feet that way to get that X, to pretend that this is a rectangle, even though it's not.
So our 4 points here, we basically have a 1 point, 2 point, 3 point was down here until we took it back a few feet, and then this last point here. So that's what we got, and really it's just rough points so that we know where to excavate. So we have a stick over there, and if I can like excavate like around this whole area here, that'd be good. We're going to be measuring another 4 or 5 times before we actually start pouring concrete.
Probably a lot more than 4 or 5.
Well, batter boards, all that stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot more very precise measuring that needs to happen, but just for the sake of, hey, this is the general area where the house is that we need to take the top layer of soil off.
I feel like if you keep your measurements long when you're trying to get square, you're going to have a more accurate angle than if you just did like a 3, 4, 5 method, like the triangle method. There's a number of ways you could do it. This is the way we're doing it, using triangles.
We have 28 piers, and then we have the perimeter and 2 pony walls that are going through. Here, I can show it to you really quick. Let's look at it on here. So we have the perimeter that's going to go all the way around. It's pretty much in the shape of an eye, if you will. And then we have a pony wall here and a pony wall here, and then there's 28 piers. These are represented like this. There's some on the outside which are going to support our decks also.
And then pony walls here that shoot straight through. So our thing is, let's excavate. We could get lucky and not hit or not even need to touch a rock here and there, hopefully.
Well,
What we did, we marked these stakes roughly where they're going. Just did a quick 4-corner type thing. So we got one there, one in each corner, okay, for the main footprint of the house. That just gives us an idea of where we need to excavate. Now we're going to determine where the low spot is and where the high spot is. Then the low side is pretty much, we got to remove all the topsoil everywhere until we get down to just soil, not topsoil, just soil. Then we're going to grade everything level, and we're going to go beyond this a little bit, because once we determine the low and the high, we'll know how much we need to remove over there.
it says to save the warning label. It says it does not have load capacity. That string.
No?
That's what it says.
Why does it say 44-pound test then?
Good question.
What was the other color?
Orange.
Why didn't we get orange?
Because we wanted the deer to be able to see the line. We didn't want the deer to trip on the line. I don't know if deer can see pink, but I know they can't see orange, so
Yeah.
that was John's reasoning.
Yeah. That's totally why.
Bad.
Yeah, let's just see it crawl. Oh, that's nice. Right off the bat.
What happened?
I don't know.
You knotted it?
I didn't do anything. I just started pulling it. Oh, bloody hell.
I opted for just the roll, the cheap. I didn't want to. I didn't want to go for the one that had the feeding line that rolls. So, because we like to do things the hard way and save money. It was like another $2.
Seriously?
Yeah. I think so.
We just picked a random corner based on what we thought. That corner over there, we're like, that's our low spot. Let's go over there and we'll mark up 24 inches on the pole and make a mark and reference that. So we did that. We came over here, we were 48 inches up. And it's very deceiving. You got to think about it. So imagine you have a slope. This is very exaggerated, but this is your slope that you're standing on. And basically here you have a stick and here you have a stick. So here, let's say from the ground, we measure 24 inches up. And then if you draw a level line all the way across, this is obviously going to be longer. So any mark, if you start with 24 inches, say, and then you come over here and you get your level line and you measure from the bottom, and that's more than the 24 inches, that means this is lower than this point.
Which is what we found out. We thought that thought over there was the lowest point, and
just by sight, yeah.
It's not.
So we have to now reference, right now this is our lowest stake, so now we're going to check it with that stake and the stake over there too. And if those are greater than our reference mark on this stake, that means those would be lower than that one and this one. So we're going to figure that out now.
Move it down a little more. No, up. Keep going. Good.
There?
Yep.
All right. What was that, 26?
No, isn't it 36?
24.
Oh, wow. We're only 2 inches off.
2 inches.
That's great.
So that's still low because that's 26. That's the bigger number.
Yeah.
The bigger number is the lower side. It seems backwards and it like trips you out, but the more length you have, the more pole that exposed, you know, think about it, the more pole that's exposed from the top of the ground to the level point, that's going to be sitting in a hole more than this side.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, so we got a 2-inch difference. That's not bad at all. Not confuse anyone here with our bubble level, and again, this is just for quick and dirty measuring. This is a slope measurement tool. I used this for the gutters back in episode like probably single digits on the shed, or 20 something, I don't know, when we did gutters. So when the bubble is at the edge of 0, that's actually level. If it goes to 1/8, that means that over 12 inches it's an 1/8 inch rise, quarter, 3/8, half. So we're taking our measurements like this. I didn't want to confuse anybody thinking that we're at a whack or anything. That's what these are. These are slope, but you could still use them for levels. I couldn't find the actual real bubble level, so. Okay.
Okay. House isn't actually a rectangle, but for sake of leveling right now, we're gonna pretend it's a rectangle. So this corner is actually a little bit more over here, but we're just gonna level it at this spot to make it easy. So we found that this was our lowest point. We set a string at 26 inches at this point, and this is our low. Then we brought our string from that corner to this corner and made the string level, and it came up from the ground 2 inches here. Then we did the same thing from this corner all the way across. Sorry, I'm on a tree. And that line was level at 24 inches. So that's almost level. These two corners are almost level with each other. They're only 2 inches off. And then this corner, we went from here to here, and this one was 21. So that's fairly close as well. Our high spot is definitely this corner. So we need to take material from this area and grade at a level slope down to this side and this side. But this side we have quite a bit we need to take out. And we have a high spot in the center, definitely. So we need to take material to level to this corner.
All right.
And looking at it from another perspective. So, come back. So, to show it from another perspective here. So we have a pole here, and we have a pole here. And then we have our line that is level all the way across. But our grade is like this. So it was showing 2 inches here, and we have 26 inches here. So we need to take all of this material away so that we end up with a level pad to start with. Then we're gonna be digging down our footers like this. Mm-hmm. And the reason we need to take this away is so that once the house is built on top, our crawl space has an even amount from the ground to the bottom of the floor, if you will. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you don't want an area you can't even access.
Exactly, because if you leave that unlevel, then it's going to be a slope inside, and one side of your basement or one side of your crawl space is going to have a bunch of room to maneuver, and then the rest, as you walk over, you're going to have no room to do work. So
yeah, you can backfill on the outside of the block wall. You can do as much backfilling as you want, as long as it's below those ventilation holes of the crawl space. But on the inside, you kind of want it consistent and level as possible, especially if you experience like water or anything like that in there.
Yeah.
You don't want it.
Well, you can't backfill as much as you want. You can only backfill as much as code will allow you based on the type of wall that you have.
All that stuff. Rules.
Yeah. But I hope that makes it a little bit easier to understand what we're trying to show you.
Can I get in my skid steer now?
Yes. Enough measuring.
Nice, Meg.
It even has a string holder.
Laser schmazer. We got a Meg.
As we've said, looking at the dirt, it can be very deceiving what you think is high and low and level and not level and whatnot. So you really need to measure it.
Yep.
So I made a measuring. We don't have one of those fancy beep beep. I mean, we don't have one of those. So this is tied at 26 inches.
Okay.
This is marked at 26 inches.
Okay.
And then I used a stick that had a handy little place for my string.
Okay.
I have to be able to make this string longer and shorter, so I can't.
Where'd you get that, Loaf? Where'd you get that
stick?
stick? Yeah, that's nice.
In the region over this area of our property.
Oh, you didn't get it at the store?
Patent pending.
Okay.
Anyway, so I can take this string anywhere within the house site.
Yep.
Here, and I can put the stick on the ground. And then what I'm gonna do from there is I take the string, here, I'm gonna leave that. Take this, and I untangle it all. Hold on one second. So, I'm gonna have this, and then I will have it at my red mark here. That's at 26 inches, so even. So, from there, so I have it at the red mark here, and then I can take my level, my bubble level here, make it taut. Then I can look at the level, and if it's too high, I can go like this until it is, and this difference is how much we need to go down.
Cool.
So I'm gonna go around while John's in the skid steer and test different areas and tell him how far he needs to go down so he can get a better idea rather than just eyeballing it. This is level. Beep, 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 beep. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, you're doing pretty good.
I just wanted to say something about buckets. I have the rock bucket on here right now, and the reason I have this is because I'm grading and scooping, well, removing a lot of soil, and there's a lot of big rocks in that soil where you abruptly just run into them. I don't want to cause damage on the smooth edge bucket that I have, but yesterday using that thing, it was a joy. I mean, this thing, I don't know, you constantly like kind of slip off because like a tooth gets into one spot and then you pop that spot off because there's so much pressure on it. But when you have the smooth bucket and you could just kind of like have more surface area to push those things out of the way, you wind up really clearing a lot more material with a smooth bucket versus this skeleton bucket. But this is kind of the, I guess, the rough cut. You can kind of tell where the objects are in the ground that you want to avoid or just pay closer or just be a little bit more rough with. But and the thing is, when you want to get material out of the way, a lot of it, even though this is a fine grade bucket, a lot of it falls through, especially the topsoil. But then you come in with a smooth bucket, it's just like stuff starts flying out of here. I built that whole mountain there with the smooth bucket yesterday.
Yeah, it seemed like quick moving. Oh, I want to get the butterfly. Butterfly's seen better days.
This is when like a little excavator come in real handy, because I would not have a problem with that at all. Give you a little hint as to what Meg's up to. All right, Meg's got her cordage going on. We're just doing a quick whoa. This rock right here. I know it doesn't look like much, but something's going on with that rock. I mean, it's a big wiggly tooth pretty much under the soil, and I cannot, emphasize cannot, get that out with the skid steer. It's just not wiggling enough. So what's up, Meg?
I've had this shovel since I was 10 years old.
Yeah?
Yeah. I was into gardening when I was little, and my parents bought me a set of gardening tools, and this was the shovel in that set. Still have it.
Cool. All right, so what we're doing, we're just getting a chain wrapped around this rock here. And then we got an anchor tree over there, that maple tree right there. And we're gonna have a line go to a snatch block, which the chain will be attached to.
Ow.
And then we'll pull the other end with the skid steer. But you know what I forgot? The keys to the skid steer. So I gotta take Willie. I gotta take Willie there and go back down to the to the camper and get the keys. All right, Meg, you get this set up. I'll be right back, okay?
You got it, baby. Let's see if that'll work.
Meg did while I was gone. She, there's our rock, chain, snatch block. We got a anchor right there, and I'm gonna go get the skid steer and pull that way. See, what we were talking about in our other episodes with snatch block use. See this mound here? If you take the machine and drive there, like past the anchor that way, so it's more like a 180 shot. If you do that, it'll be stronger than if you drive to this side of that pile, because that's an angle. So you're taking away a little bit of your mechanical advantage there, but we're gonna see if it's enough. It should be.
See if you can dig down here.
I don't want to hurt your little shovel.
Well, then get the other shovel. Yeah, there's a little bit of a lip there. But it was definitely pulling it. It was trying.
It's amazing. Like I don't know how much time and fuel on this rock yesterday. Like just going back and forth and digging out, and then you rig it up and get so much better results. I might be able to get it out with the machine now if we budged it loose.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, it's definitely loosened up.
All right, I might be able to either stump bucket get this corner out. I mean, we moved it. We budged it. Like we broke that vacuum.
Yeah, it's not in the same position. It's definitely different.
All right, let me get the machine behind you and just try to push it. Well, look at me! Oh, yeah.
job.
Thank you.
Just in case anyone was wondering if John thought he had 4 ears. He went down and he thought maybe I forgot a pair, so he brought a pair for me. Oh. But I had remembered a pair.
Well, chances are I'll drop one too. And then I'll pick them up when I come around to the outside. it doesn't get much better than that. Like when your wife just grabs the keys to the tractor, she's like, hey, I'll help out with the boulders. You load her up and she takes this huge rock out of the way. I mean, that was effective.
Yeah.
Now what? Want to just sit here on our machines? All right, here's the plan, guys. Is that a squatch?
Put your finger like this, put the string on it, and then just move. It'll roll.
Oh, like this?
Yeah.
Oh.
That would have happened with the reel anyway.
Would it?
Yeah.
Really?
It really would have happened.
Where's my tape? Oh, it's right there. There we go.
You know, we considered the name Where's My Tape for our YouTube channel name at one point.
When I die, my memorial, it's going to say it on it. Where's my tape?
Where's my tape?
Meg, please bury me or burn me or do whatever with me with a tape measure, so I'll always have one.
You'll know where your tape is in the afterlife.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
Yeah, John!
Look at me! Oh, yeah.
It's a perfect seat, isn't it?
It's a nice seat. Hey, if we just drill a big hole in this thing, perfect commode.
Since when did you start using the word commode?
Since I heard it once. All right, so